Weekend Winners proudly brought to you by One Equine for the equine athlete. We're back at Albion Park on Saturday night, our final Saturday night meeting before the 2025 Summer Carnival, known as the Starlights, gets officially underway next Saturday night. So Saturday week, the Summer Carnival, officially launching. So it's going to be a good night on Saturday night, good racing, a 5-horse free-for-all for real life back in action off a blistering recent trial. He's going to be one of the key starters there on Saturday night. So we look forward to that. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to sit down with Tommy Callaghan and Nathan Rothwell. Tommy Callaghan's got a good book of drives on Saturday night, and it's nice and early for Tom as well. First 4 races, and then he can scoot out of town and hopefully get the cash as well. And he joins us now. He's in the hot seat. Tommy, appreciate the time. This first race on Saturday night, I think this is the highlight race on the card. It's a 9-race program, and this race is loaded here. Utterly Sweet is your drive. You've had great success with him already this year, taking out a feature, the Breeders' Classic. I'm tipping you probably might have had the choice here because the stables really stacked this race. We've got Utterly Sweet, Pernco Nell, the Rascal, and are all very good horses in their own right. Did you have a choice, or were you always planning to drive Utterly Sweet?
Yeah, I did have an option between the Rascal and Utterly Sweet. It's pretty hard to jump off this little guy. I've had a great year with him, and yeah, just felt like I'd stay loyal to him.
Okay, if the barrier draws were reversed and Utterly Sweet drew 8 and the Rascal drew 4, would have that assuaged you to swap drives?
No, I don't think so. I think I would have, that would have put me in Utterly Sweet's corner even more. Just buried on the fence there, it would have been perfect for him.
Okay, so he is a favourite of yours?
Yeah, I love him. He's a cool little horse to drive, and we've had a good year, so can't thank the owners enough for trusting me. All
right. Well, we haven't seen him since the Group 1 Triad, and that was back in mid-August. So what are the expectations here first up?
Obviously, it's a tough little race for him. There's a couple of nice ones in there. Pernco Nell and Bold Medley Jujon, they look the class too, but we'll just tuck him in, and he should be hitting the line really well.
Judging by that recent trial, he looked fairly forward. He won by a good space. Time was strong, so he's fairly close to the mark by the look of it.
Yeah, I think so. We've been able to get plenty of work into him at home, and that trial was nice and sharp, so I'm sure he'll run well.
How much can you use him early here from this draw fresh up?
Not much, I don't think, Chris. Looks like there's going to be a lot of speed, and I'd say a few of them will be diving to the fence looking for Bold Medley Jujon's back. So, we'll just tuck him in and he should hit the line well.
Bold Medley Jujon was unbelievable last time out, winning by a huge margin. First up, new stable, set the track ablaze, 150. Looks guaranteed they're going to run time again here on the weekend.
Yeah, 100%, and there looks to be a bit of early speed there, so that should set it up for a big mile.
Okay, well that's Utterly Sweet. Whatever he does Saturday night, keep following this campaign?
Yeah, definitely. He's an honest little horse, and he should be right in the mix.
All right, great stuff. Race 2. I'm tipping this guy's a bit of a favourite of yours as well. He'd be a favourite of everyone at the stables because he turns up week in, week out, and he always performs. Checking out the talent. Now, he was unplaced last week. Can we make excuses there last week?
I'm not too sure, Chris. He had a couple of weeks between runs, and he does do well in between runs. He was off the fence. It was a fence race, and he struggles when he gets out a little wide like that. So hopefully he gets a nice little trip and he can bounce back into form.
Is he a cool horse to drive? Is he easy to drive?
Yeah, he's super cruisy. He's getting a lot better too. You can start to use him a little more, so it's making our job a lot easier.
Okay, so he's a good doing type, but he obviously thrives on the racing because, as I said, he's had a busy season, but you can't knock him. The form's very, very good.
Yeah, definitely. He loves his racing, and he loves his work at home. And I think going back week to week will really suit him, and he's dropping down in grade a little bit too, so he should run a good race.
Is it fair to say the two key runners in this race, as far as rivals are concerned, are both drawn the second row, Bigger the Better and Tremendous Sensation?
Yeah, I think so. Tremendous Sensation was super last week, winning, and Bigger the Better's in good form and racing really well, so they should both be hard to beat.
How hard can you use checking out the talent early in this race?
I'd say we'll be able to get forward a little bit. Probably try and stay in front of those two, and hopefully he can get on the front end or close enough to it, and he should be right there.
Okay, well, that's checking out the talent race 2. Race 3, the Mares Open. Unfortunately, we've got the early scratching of Luxa Turner. She really takes a fair bit out of this race, but you got a great drive here in Sweet Mia. She's been awesome since coming across from New Zealand. She's aiming for 4 in a row. There's no reason why she can't win again here.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there, Chris. She's a great little race mare, and she's got a lot of high speed. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how she takes the next step. But I'm really confident that she should take it with your flying colours.
Okay. Did you get the choice here? Were you surprised that you were booked to drive Sweet Mia? Because we've got Sweet Edition, Sweet Mia, Sky Forks. Pete's opted for Sky Forks. So were you a little surprised? I'm tipping you were pretty chuffed to get the drive here.
Yeah, obviously really happy with getting the drive on her. Pete and I discussed it earlier on this morning, and I said I'm happy to drive Sweet Mia. So he's had a really good run with Sky Forks, and she's another mare on the way up, so they should both run really well.
All right, well, she's at the peak of her powers, Sweet Mia, 9 from 16. Has she surprised most at the stable that she's been able to come to Queensland and do what she's done, because she's adapted very quickly?
I wouldn't say she's surprised us, Chris. We always really liked her when she stepped into the stable. She was a mare with a lot of attitude, and even her first win here, she was probably wasn't expected to win like that. But I do say she's taken the next step over the last month or so, and hopefully she steps up again.
Well, we've got some good mares races coming up throughout the carnival, so she's going to be right in the thick of the action.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. She's got plenty of high speed, and she also loves a bit of a dogfight, so she's got an all-round game.
All right, that's a great drive there on Saturday night. And then Roxor Diamonds in race 4. He's in the band 5 pace. He's drawn out in 6. How do you sort of rate his chances here?
Yeah, I haven't had a great look at this race yet, Chris. I only found out I got the drive about half an hour ago, so really grateful to be on him, but without talking to Brian or the team, I'm sure he'll run a good race.
Okay, you have driven him before, so you sort of know a few of his traits already.
Yeah, he's an honest horse, and he always turns up week in, week out, and runs a good race, so I'm sure it will be no different this week.
Okay, without putting on the spot, a few of the key runners in this race are drawn to your inside, so there's a fair bit of way up early.
Yeah, 100%, and he's got a bit of gate speed if you need to use it, but he also can get a little fired up if you didn't happen to clear. So it's a thing you got to weigh up out there, and I'm sure he'll run a good race.
All right. Well, the stable star as far as the trotter is concerned, Gus, he steps out Tuesday over in New Zealand. Does that mean you're Tommy in charge next week?
I wouldn't say I'm in charge. We'll throw that to Paddy, but between us, we'll keep the stable rolling, and hopefully we can have a good week over here still.
Great stuff. You've got some great drives there on Saturday night. Appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thanks, Chris.
Summer Carnival features just around the corner here at Albion Park, but we've got a good 9-race program this weekend. There's plenty of class, and this first race in particular looks absolutely loaded. Nathan Rothwell jumps in the hot seat. He's got some interesting drives on Saturday night. We're going to find out more about them because he's with us now. Nathan, appreciate the time.
No, thanks for having me, Chris.
This first race, as I said, loaded here. There's plenty of class. There's plenty of up-and-coming talent. Eagles Pride is a horse that's just been enormous this year. Like, his record speaks for itself, and you've got a particularly good record with this guy. How do you rate your chances here from this draw at the mile?
Yeah, I really like this horse, Chris. He's sort of taken the next step this prep. It's sort of, the draw doesn't help, and it definitely is a step up in grade. There's a few nice ones there, but if he can sneak along the pegs and get the right gaps at the right times, well, he's a good, probably top 4 chance, I'd say.
He's won 6 times this year from, I think, about 20 starts, so his strike rate is very good. The key thing about Eagles Pride is the versatility. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely. He's quite a versatile horse. We sort of haven't used his gate speed, but I think he's got gate speed there, so, for future, that's, obviously something, another one of his key attributes as well.
Okay. The 2 key runners in this first race, according to the market, is going to be Fern Cornell, who's got the front row draw, and Bold Medley Jujon, fresh off that unbelievable first up win for the new stable. He's off the second row. Does that work to your advantage a little bit that you've got one of the key runners drawn right alongside you and you can sort of half follow him everywhere he goes?
Yeah, definitely. I think that'll be the plan, Chris, to obviously just stay on his helmet as long as we can. Obviously his last run was sizzling last time, but I think they're going to run a pretty quick time, and we'll just try to be there as long as we can.
Eagles Pride's got a PB of 54. I think you're right. I think they'll just run their hands off the clock here on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, can he go quicker than 54?
Yeah, I think so. He's sort of giving me the feel that he'll just keep going on the helmet, but I guess we'll see on Saturday.
All right. Race number 2, Racing Time is your drive. 2 starts ago you drove. This guy's actually going better than what the numerical numbers read.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he's the sort of horse that does his best work on speed. It's probably not really a great draw for him, but the way he's going, I think he's definitely a good enough chance in that race.
Does it help that the 2 key runners in this race are both drawn the second row? Bigger the better, tremendous sensation?
Yeah, definitely. I think if we can have them behind us, in the run, definitely helps. He's the sort of horse that'll stay all day, so that definitely helps his chances.
Okay, so the distances to his liking here, 2,138. If it's not Saturday night, we should keep following because I think a win's not too far away.
Yeah, for sure. I think a win's not too far away either way, mate.
All right. Race 4, you're going to drive Roll Up, and he's got barrier 1. Is this your first time sitting behind this guy?
Yeah, first time behind this guy. His run was obviously very good last week, so I actually quite like his chances in this race.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good setup for him, given the fact that he's got that inside draw, 2,138 metres. He's going to be handy throughout. There's a lot to like about this guy.
Yeah, he is. I quite like the horse. Obviously there's a few options early. Probably take a sit on something. Look, he wouldn't surprise me if you can, dash up the straight and hopefully get the win.
Okay, well that's Roll Up there in race number 4. What about Dr. Feelgood in race number 6? He's been close at his past couple. He's been a runner-up 2 of his last 3. Could this be his race on the weekend?
Yeah, for sure. He's a horse with plenty of gate speed, so I think the plan will be to try to get across them early and dictate. And if he can get the right sort of quarters early, I'd say this race is right up his alley.
Okay, he got beaten a whisker here 3 starts ago. That was at 2,100. This race on Saturday night at the Mile. Now, you drove him last time out at Redcliffe. Were you happy with what he delivered there? Yeah,
I was pretty happy with him. He's run second to a pretty handy horse in Rock Supreme, so I was pretty happy with that run. He always does his best work, in front, so I'm sure he'll give it a good shot again.
So if he leads, he's going to give a sight?
Yeah, for sure.
Does he have to lead to win this race?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's not beyond him, though.
No, not beyond him. I think that's obviously where he does his best work.
Okay. The last race, they've got you here all night on Saturday night, a Perfect Dance. Now, another mare that's going particularly well. She's the only runner off the second row. How do you rate her chances?
Yeah, she's a mare that's probably going a bit better than what her form suggests. She hasn't had a lot of luck with her draws of late, but this draw sort of gives us a few options early, whether to stay on the pegs or come off. Probably likely just to be 3 back, I'd say, and be probing for the gaps. But yeah, if they open, well, she'll be hard to beat.
Is Zara Lou the mare to beat there?
Yeah, I think so. She seems like the class mare in the race.
Okay. Now, with a Perfect Dance, in an ideal world, what's her best racing pattern? Do you like her in front? Do you like her outside the speed, doing the work, or chasing a target? Which setup is best for her?
I feel like she does her best racing in front. She is pretty quick off the helmet, but mentally for her, I think out in front is the way to go.
Okay, so reading between the lines, I reckon you're going to say Roll Up's your best hope there on the weekend. Definitely going to say that. Race 4, number 1, Roll Up. We'll take the tip. Hey, Nathan, as always, really appreciate the time. Keep up the good work. Hopefully there's a few winners there on Saturday night.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to our 2 drivers giving up their time and insights, Tommy Callaghan and Nathan Rothwell. We wish both young guys the very best of luck. They've got some good chances, so hopefully they can find the winner's circle. 9 races. We officially start at 5:40 this weekend, and the best bet for those that are looking to have a punt this weekend, I'm going to go with race 5, number 1, Debo. Now, he was strongly fancied last week, and he just came up a little bit short. This weekend, he starts from the inside draw, barrier 1. Last week, he had the inside of the second row, and I think that might make the difference. This looks a little easier as well, so I'm keen to go with race 5, number 1, Debo, marking him as a good gamble this weekend. For those that are playing this weekend, please do so responsibly. Looking forward to this 9-race card on Saturday night. We kick off at 5:40. Don't forget on Tuesday, great Queensland representation over in New Zealand at Christchurch, the New Zealand Cup. Leap to Fame steps out, and our star trotter Gus going around in the Group 1 Dominion. So we wish the Queenslanders the very best of luck. We'll see you trackside this weekend.